Some of these days I'm going to make somebody laugh as soon as I hit record. But not today. Not today. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Fate Weavers, our bi-weekly D&D TTRPG game. So, we are going to skip pleasantries because these assholes just spent 2 hours playing Among Us and drawing dicks on the screen.
What? No. This is not true. We spent 30 minutes playing Among Us, and then you spent 90 minutes lecturing us about your new features in Foundry.
I'm pretty sure that you are lying.
It may have been like 3/4 of an hour of Among Us.
I will not stand for this slander.
And then
sir.
lecture.
I wouldn't say lecture. I would say...
Oh, trust me.
Yeah, true.
I used to be a uni teacher for a couple of months, years.
What did you?
Yep. Could see it.
Uh,
I was falling asleep.
Oh, uni. Ah, right.
Yep. Hey, hope you enjoy it. It's a good system. We have a lot of new stuff to play around with.
Yes, completely flawless.
Yes, decision paralysis times 50. Whoop whoop.
Speaking of decision paralysis, this one I just added to
No!
fuck up with Hala. An hourglass timer. So,
Any way we can shake it to make the time go faster? That'd be funny.
That would be funny. Okay, so let's jump right back into the recap. As last week, we ended in a juicy little treat. As the Wanderers made their way out of the miasma with their new flying vessel, the Elysian Veil, a ship designed and created by Kirchis himself, the god of craftsmanship and trade here in this world, you started roaming around in the direction that you believed the Longstad Empire was, as according to the maps of the old world prior to the fracturing, this is where the mountain range of the Ambrician theocracy would have been placed, so it would have been close to the original position. With that in mind, and I hope setting towards the sun, you started proceeding. After 2 days of travel, with the night crew and the day crew charting different courses and planning different things, encountering islands where they saw people stranded and chose to continue on their path, encountering the island where they originally met with Sheila and still ignoring it and continuing on their path, as time is pressing and of the essence, there is a war hatching. As the group continued their travel, on the eve of the second day, they arrived to the outskirts of a place that the radars of the Elysian Veil detected buildings. As they started drawing closer, running more scanners and analysis with the Arcane radars of the Elysian Veil, they found the territory of Almian, where they could identify the edifications of Iris Crossing, that small frontier town where this adventure started, as well as the larger town/city coveted by trees, the Almeria, the city of this district. As the scanners encountered Almeria, a communication came through an open sending channel to the Elysian Veil. The party found out that they were being perceived by the authorities of Almeria. Mostly younger arcanists in training.
Breaking up for you too?
Yeah.
Martin, you are very, very breaking uppy.
Oh. Is this better now?
Break up.
Still break up?
Put a little makeup.
Ah. A white shoe. as the communication came with the Arcanist of Elmiria, Captain at that moment Kauliki chose to deceive the communication and continue on their path, saying that they had to land close to Iris Crossing. But as they were drawing near, the pilot, Hareth Bishar, identified in the last moment a glimpse of light that was slightly mirage-like and managed to turn the ship away, avoiding a total crash against the wall of force. The party continued on their path, trying to identify the ends of this wall of force that seemed to course through all of the Longstad Empire as far as they have seen. Remembering the maps of the Longstad Empire, they proceeded in the direction that Naur Zhandia, their destination, would be in, and they found it rather quickly. But as soon as they had contact with the city of Naur Zhandia, a communication came in, intercepted by, at the moment, Captain Gaba Tutalu. The communication read, "Oh, hello, Lovelace. We've been waiting for you. It's okay. Approach. There is a small space."
Martin, we understand every fifth word.
You're really breaking up.
Each time that I try to do something.
Every fifth.
Yeah.
Okay, every time that I try to change music or screens or something, computer dies.
I can take the music if you need to.
It's fine. I'm just going to close Tailspire for now. And just in my epic recap, spiking people. Okay, can you hear me better now?
Oh,
If I take let me take Spotify off you. I've just put a link for those who are listening.
Yeah, but I think he needs to have it for the stream.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
a problem.
You can listen to this.
Right. So, as you approach Naur Zhandia, a communication comes in as Captain Gabatutalu is in command of the Elysian Vale. It's a voice that you know a little bit. You had an encounter with this female, sort of soft yet taunting voice. As you hear, "Oh, hello, Lovelace. We've been waiting for you. Come on, the party's ready. We have set a small space outside for you to approach. And don't worry, we have a lovely dinner ready."
So I'm guessing I'll respond to that.
I mean, I think I am at the helm right now.
No, once it happened, we were both up there.
Okay.
So I'm guessing everyone's on the deck or in their the pilot's quarters.
Yes.
You would see probably being sat at the desk or kind of the helm where it's the captain's chair, let's say. You would probably see as who she identifies as Luciana starts talking. She kind of stands up and pushes herself until she responds, and then you would see something probably you've seen when I used my core blast before, but this time it's just all my scars go red. You would see Gaba's chains start whipping out of her hands, almost like a snake would. Our snake charmer would get a snake going out of a basket, and she would just respond out loud. And the only way I'd describe the talk would be almost like snake-like, very venomous. You could say maybe dragon-like. And Gaba's response would be, "You think you can do this? You threaten my friends. My friends. You will die." And then that red glow kind of seeps in, goes back to her normal self. The chains go back into her skin. And whereas Gala before was talking very robotic, she's just back to normal. Just land the ship. We finish this once and for all.
It's been a while, but do your spirits change in any way through Vishar's eyes?
I will allow Martin to answer that one.
Oh, you're throwing the ball on me.
I wouldn't.
I would say
I don't think so.
there is no change. Like if you look at Gava before, as you identify being merged with AzerrA, and after that, Gava originally had, as most people do, a little bit of every little lesser spirit, a little bit of like the earth, the fire, the wind, the waters. She normally didn't have anything related to the white ones, but ever since Gava came back from disappearing, you started noticing from time to time, especially when she used like her warlock powers, you would see the red corrupted spirits coming out. Ever since Gava fused with AzerrA, you have seen those red spirits constantly. And in this moment, you could see almost similar to when you saw Mirgo for the first time, that you had to avert your eyes because the output of those spirits was so much that it was hard to see, like almost as if staring to a bright light, but red and crimson. And just after she finishes, it goes back to like the regular. But you can see that those reddish spirits now form about like 50% of Gava's total spirits that surround her. Something
you'd also see she looks.
The same happens with Quattle, by the way. He's also entirely instead of like half, Quattle is 75% reddish crimson spirits at the moment.
You would also see Gaba has some sort of like a pump on right now, like because you can see only the muscles. Her muscles like pumped, like she's gone on like she worked at the gym.
Right. The red ones were what we were previously referring to as the corrupted lesser spirits, right?
Yeah.
That is what you referred to them priorly. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I will bookmark this in must come back to later and starts to land.
Problem for later, for future me.
Vishal will remember this.
Bookmark that in your personal quests so that you remember. And I remember.
Pilot Vishal landed on the outskirts of the town, and then I kind
Are we
of
allowed to land? Are we? Do we have the clearance?
She has waited for us. She is calling us. She wants a fight. She'll get a fucking fight. And you can see Gaba's quite antsy right now. Like, body language is pretty much like a... Imagine a boxer walking out to a fight, kind of like just all jitters, trying to get everything muscle moving, just trying to like keep himself a bit calm, but also not excited, but like not nervous. It's like a weird energy you feel from it. I also then point to Marlish.
Yeah.
You stay with the ship. If anything goes wrong, you need to take off. We can't afford to lose this ship. Take it back to your mothers if needs be.
Okay, sure. Just one thing. Nobody ever taught me to drive. I didn't have anybody to teach me how to. So I don't really know how to pilot the ship.
Do I look like I know how to pilot airships before all of this? You figure it out.
You look like somebody that knows how to drive stick.
I lived my entire life in a forest. And up until a couple of weeks ago, I still did.
Marlich, I am
Harsh.
sure you will figure it out. We are dependent on your ability to do this So yes, you will do that. And you will be able to do that because Gaba says you do, because we believe in you. Okay?
Sorry, dude. I'm getting a little bit of mixed signals. Don't want to confuse. Are you threatening me to do it, or are you being nice to me? I never know with you, and I'm honestly growing tired of this.
Can I put a shoulder
look-
on? Oh,
I look at him, smile.
Yes.
I put my hand on his shoulder and I go, Marlich, I have not treated you well. If anything, I may have been a bit harsh. I have known you very little time, but I can see good in you. You may not be who you thought you are, but you are our Marlich. A little tap.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, fuck, I love those.
Can I make an insight check? I mean, I have a pretty high passive insight. Gaba, are you being honest?
You've never seen Gabba like this at the moment. This is
This is why Kaulik is like,
For the first time ever, you would say Gabba is actually quite serious. 15 plus persuasion. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
I'm mixing.
So you do see something in Marlish change. You do see how can I describe this just so that you guys understand what I'm going at. Okay, have you seen those 2000 movies where the teenager is an emo guy because he lost all faith in himself and has had like a troubled life and nobody has ever believed in him, but then comes one person and they start as enemies and it shows like a sign of believing in themselves and then a change starts happening?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what the impression that you get in this moment. So you see that change in Marlish as he goes, fine, I will try, if you say so.
I believe in you.
Don't get
I'm
used
going to
to
look
it.
at Thuras as well.
And sorry, before you go to Thuras, I want to let you know that as of this moment, you can see in the journal a new quest for your companions called Lifting Up Marlish.
God.
With a counter. If you guys manage to complete the companion quests, all of your companions will receive a boost in level, and you will learn an achievement.
Feels like a Mass Effect quest where to make sure they don't die at the end of the thing, you have to make sure they're fully maxed out.
Maybe.
Oh, can we do things to take points away?
Definitely. Definitely, yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to quickly look at Thuras. And this time I'm going to put two hands on their shoulders and go, I need you to come with me, but I need you to promise. If things go south, you need to leave, get on the ship with Marlish, and both get out of here. Get back to Sheila's tower, explain to her what's going on, explain everything. I'm going to trust you, that if we fall, you will carry on the quests. And then I give her a kiss on the cheek.
Oh. Roll me a perception check, persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
Go on, Gaba.
So a 19 plus 5 is a 24.
Jeez. Where the fuck are we?
Okay. Yeah, where are you?
We're right on the edge, aren't we?
Yeah,
I thought we were a bit closer than that. I thought we were like here.
oh, you like Rick is on the. Okay, I recommend you go actually to the world map instead of the Longstad map.
It takes ages to load one.
Yeah. Oh crap! I pressed the wrong.
Right.
Maps.
So
Map.
I also created a quest for Thuras. And as you give her like a kiss, you see her puts like her hands on yours and pulls them out, grabs like both of your hands and goes, I don't really like when you talk about dying. I am the only one that's allowed to kill you, and you will live until I do so. And at that moment you shall become my lover, not before, not after I prove my strength to you. Now, go out there and give them hell, you beautiful little bitch. And she like pulls out like her sword and out of like her bag that there's nothing like a great sword comes and she like lands the great sword on her shoulder. Now, who are we killing today?
Luciana Valera, please.
And only that.
Pretty please.
Nobody else. I can kill more people if you want. And Eric goes like, no, do not kill the Beast Walkers. If any are helping the invaders, there must be a reason. The people from Naur Zhandia don't have good relationships with Longstad. It's more of a tolerance rather than a friendship. How was
Luciana
my
Valera then. The Eric was pretty good. You've got a cadence.
Can we open a mind link at all with, or is there a way to message Marlish to basically say if we were like, I don't get our ass kicked, we can just tell him to leave without having to worry?
My mental communication is quite short range, unfortunately.
We have a cleric.
We have sending, but you know that means wild magic. And if well, you never know. Swapping places with Marlish on that occasion could be bountiful.
There is
For you.
1 in 100 chance.
Fuck you guys.
Fuck off, bitches.
Get
Me going on a solo quest.
That's why I get on, pilot the ship, which I've never piloted before, get on the main gun, and just shoot the place where the battle's going. And
Or you just like drive it headfirst into her.
oh yeah,
So yeah, we are. I would just
So,
open
before,
communication if we can land.
Before you guys land, you have like an hour or two of travel to the place that you can land. Give me a history check about Naur Zhandia. All of you except Bishar. No, and would Kauliki have learned a little bit of it during conversations in short rest with Eric or Kaiden?
I would be messing all the freaking time with anyone and everyone that wants to tell me anything about Naur Zhandia.
Right, so you can roll, let's say at disadvantage because it's like second-hand knowledge. And
History.
Eric has like a basic information to give all of you, but I want to see what each of you know. Yes, it would be a history.
21.
Martin,
Yeah.
it's the second natural one for me.
Congratulations.
Finally, the days are being real.
Gaba?
17.
And Quatel?
21.
Okay. So Naur Zhandia is mostly hills and plains, similar to like would you say that Scotland is hills and grasslands, or more like highlands?
It's a mixture of both. So it goes highlands at the towards the north, and then goes more hilly, and then kind of goes a little bit flat, and then goes straight back up the hills.
Right. It's a little bit like that in terms of terrain. It's very uneven, but it has a lot of animals for hunting, for preying, for farming, for a lot of stuff. So they deal a lot with like meat and stuff, but they also have a couple of farmlands. That's in terms of like the terrain. Now, in terms of the city, this is probably more on like Quotel's side of knowledge and Eric's rather than Gaba. Naur Zhandia was added to the Empire 30 years ago. And they haven't had the best relationship overall. Out of all of the cities that have been added to the Empire, Naur Zhandia was probably the second or third more developed one. The other one would have been Elam and Trelwyn, the one of the orcs. So since they were that well developed already, they didn't really depend much on the Empire. They were very much self-sufficient, because out of all of the places that have been added to the Empire, Naur Zhandia is the only city that was founded after the fracturing, the event that happened 60 years ago, the cataclysm that destroyed the world. So all of you know, Peace Walkers used to be slaves, prisoners of war, captured by Crinthia, and experimented to turn them into Peace Walkers by using Arcane technology that altered them to the point of their soul. They cannot be reverted by any means. When the fracturing happened, and this is information that Eric would know, when the fracturing happened, the place where Naur Zhandia is now hasn't been built used to be a military facility of Crinthia, and the Beast Walkers wiped everything. They killed all of the Crinthians. Keep in mind, Beast Walkers, prisoners of war, come from all the different places of the world.
You fucker.
You had, yes, I did. You had people from the Ambrician theocracy. You had people from the Freelance. You had people from the Thialfian Republic, and you had people from the Ashlands. You had a little bit of everybody that had been captured, and so there was a lot of conflict during the first years, but they ended up grabbing a little bit of like the best practices of different places, kind of like, imagine as if you have like the Republican system of like Rome merged with like the Asian technology of gunpowder mixed with the farming from Latin America. All of that technologies from all around the world came together in these people that had to work together to survive now that the world had been destroyed. So over 30 years, they created this city. And this is the last piece of information that Eric would tell you. And I don't really know why he hasn't mentioned this up to this moment. But Naur Zhandia means, where is it? The beast of hope.
I just want to question why Beast Walkers are raising cattle and livestock and then eating it.
Because it's
Wouldn't that be like if humans raised?
Cannibalism.
Yeah.
No. different species entirely.
Yeah, but it's probably going to be like sheep walkers.
Keep in mind, there were people of different origins, so there was like conflict between the people from the Ambrician theocracy that had a lot of spirituality against the people of the freelance who were more of like commerce and the stuff. So there were, of course, people that were against eating animals, but if the world apocalypse just happened and you are stranded in a flying island without contact for 30 years, believing that you are the only survivors in the world,
Makes sense.
you are going to end up using the resources of your territory.
It's just what I imagine Zootopia would be like in real life.
Yeah. I can keep talking about stuff that Eric would know a little bit, because I rolled a 25 for Eric with advantage. The city originally, in like the first couple of years, took place in like the military facility, and they used that. So the center, the downtown, the oldest part of the city, is a little bit reminiscent, if you want to think of it, of like Berlin during the Cold War. After the first decade, where they pretty much came to the realization, okay, we are the last ones of the world, maybe, and even if there's more people, they are not going to come save us. That sort of like mentality, that clashes between the people that wanted to keep the old heritage alive and the people that wanted to embrace the new lives, was heralding the political things. And around the 10-year mark of the fracturing, the first person was born in this settlement that at that moment didn't have a name. When they saw the first birth of a beast walker that wasn't pregnant prior to being freed, they all came together and created the city of Naur Zhandia. And that was the moment that they started to tearing down the walls and expanding outside of the city. So if you go to like the downtown of the city, you can see very much a mixture of different cultures. You can see like architecture, in our world you would see like Arabic mix, and in front of it you can see like medieval European, and on like the other street you can see a building that is very much Chinese. And as the city starts expanding out of the walls, as they grow and they merge together, people start taking like different architectural things of every culture and merging them together. So now you have like a potpourri of different things. All of this is information that Eric would know. And the last piece of information that Eric would know, and I will shut up, is that the city is ruled by two councils: the Council of Heritage and the Council of Fangs. Those are like the biggest political sort of groups. The Council of Heritage is the one that deals with the stuff from the old world prior to being freed. They are the ones that go and explore the things like the balls of the Glorium Arcanum, the cultures of the theocracy, the Republic, and the freelance, and keep like all of those stuff alive. And the Council of Fangs...
Is that who Eric was working for?
Eric works for one of the ministries that work for the Council of Heritage, yes.
Okay.
The
Council of Heritage and what?
And the Council of Fangs, which deal more of like the Beast Walker, now newly freed sort of things. Things that would relate more of like the mammals versus the canines, divisions, food, expansion of the city, growth. Over the last 20 or so years, the Council of Fangs has become the big one, and the Council of Heritage is kind of like secondary at this point.
Okay, and you said there's a feline queen.
Yes, that was one of the elders that Eric knew.
So
Who is
heritage then?
She is part of the Council of Fangs, actually.
Okay.
From a strategic point of view, obviously we know roughly the layout in Zhandia. Where would be the best place to land? Like the most? I know you said it's hilly, but there must be like a plateau, maybe.
Yeah, you can definitely find the plateau. And the reason why I went a little bit over the city and how it expanded is so that there is like no walls to the city. It's like a very open place. Literally, like you could get into any of the streets from like the outside. Militarily speaking, it's a terrible place because it can be attacked really easily. But when they started expanding, they just thought, okay, we need to live with this and stop the hate, leave the hate behind.
You ever seen the Hunger Games, the last one, where they
No.
fly into the city and there's no one attacking them? That's what I feel like we're about to walk into.
Oh, God.
So, let's just land. Let's just land, walk up to her, kill her, say hi to Mama's.
There's more to this.
Oh, of course there is. But we will not see anything happen if we don't do anything. So let's just land.
We are. I think we land on the outskirts, we walk in, that means that the ship can't be taken by surprise. We keep Marlish somewhat close. If we can get extracted, if we can, we will do that.
Ideally,
Otherwise,
we would keep the ship in the air once we've landed. So
I agree.
yeah.
I think we keep at least Marlish and Duras, as much as I would like to take it from a brute strength point of view.
Quattle, could you give me an Arcana check as the arcane officer?
Yeah, we need to land it for a
Well, we got an hour.
considerable amount of time.
We got 2 hours, haven't we?
Yeah,
We
you
got
have 2 hours
till
that
we
you
get
can
there.
use for downtime. Ephraim could craft a potion or poison or something during that time.
That is a 8.
While you guys were reading the manual on the first day, you saw that there was a way to make sure that the ship does not lift up without the biometric and soul resonance of the captain. But you have no idea how to activate that.
Great success.
In these 2 hours, Kauliki would be very quiet. And she'll just go down into the training room. And she'll just like grab a punching bag and start punching.
She draws like a little illusion of Luciana Valera.
Yeah. And in some time of her punching, the claws would come out and I will just start slashing at wood and just like go crazy, like batshit crazy, like really mental in this room. And on the door I would like project, "Don't come in if you want to live."
Gabba would be, knowing her time is limited, is going to try and contact friend to try and get some sort of advantage, knowing that this is going to be a difficult fight.
Okay. So the way that you were doing this last time,
Religion.
you were doing a sort of trying to commune with friend by using a relation check. And before you roll this, why don't we roll fate dice?
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
That if that would count as one of my training dice, I would like that.
Who's piloting the ship? Because apparently we have both the captain and the first mate.
Whereas,
Okay.
Marlish, you need to practice.
Marlish and Thuras.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Party resources. Right. D6. Okay, I rolled a 6. That's nice for me. Okay, Callum.
Oh,
Dice for me. Rick.
3.
Dice for you. David.
6.
Dice for me. Fuck yeah. And Hala.
2.
Okay, so I have 3 and you guys have 2.
I think that's the most dice you've ever had.
No,
Yeah.
I've gotten to 5 once you use them, and then I killed somebody with like a soft mega crit.
Soft mega crit.
Right.
Would you allow me a training montage? I can roll with disadvantage.
Sure. Long time goals. You want to increase your strength. Sure. Give me an arm.
Since it's not 4 hours, it's just 2 hours.
Yeah, give me an arm attack.
And
You
since I
are-
said I am going with my claws,
it will still count as an armed, because you are trying to increase your strength, not your magic. Yes, you have disadvantage because you are not proficient in it.
5.
5. Okay. Perfect. So
Hey, 5 is better than nothing.
I keep forgetting I got a -3 religion.
okay. So
How do you have a -3
18.
on
Perfect.
intelligence?
Okay. And there, I just changed it to a
I
counter.
mean, does that surprise you?
You were at.
Himbo
You
or
made it
Barbo.
70. I had it 70.
No, you had
can't read,
17.
basically.
Okay.
You
so-
had it. No, it was 70, not 80.
No, it was 80. It's times 10 the score.
Yeah, my current score plus 10 times 10. You said.
No, it was correct. Okay, sure, no problem. Yeah, and you had 17 and you rolled 5. That is,
I had 18.
I feel like somebody's cheating. And you rolled.
I'm not.
And you rolled. How much did you roll? I'm lost.
Ooh. Hala?
You.
No, you, Hala. You said 7. So
Me, Hala. I said 5.
Okay, 18.
I rolled 5.
18 plus 5 equal 23. There. I'm done with you. Gaba, what are you rolling again?
I got a religion.
Religion, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I rolled a 15 for a 12.
How do you have -3?
Int.
Dum dum.
She
Oh.
isn't the brightest.
I've told a lie. I rolled a 15 for an 11 because I forgot my exhaustion.
Okay, you are at 38 out of 47. Okay, Kauliki,
Me.
give me a moment. Kauliki, as you
Nah.
are hacking and destroying, you start punching, and it's like the montage of, I imagine pretty much like Jinx from Arcane, while she's in season 1, just hitting and then goes crazy and starts kicking, and you pull out like claws, and by the moment that you're using your magic, like the training session completely ends because you obliterate the punching bag, and there's like just like the what would this punching bag be filled with? There's like a little dust coming out, like a cyan-looking dust floating around and starts falling, and you just feel exhausted physically in your muscles. And two things happen. You just sneeze like a cat from all of the dust falling, and then whoop, another punching bag pops from the ceiling in front of you.
Oh, that is actually good to know. If I were actually looking at it, because with the final obliteration, she will just like fall down on her knees and just like scream in frustration and like pain, and yeah, you know, the feeling when you hate something so badly and want it gone, but you know that you're not strong enough to
Get rid of
end it. Yeah. She's like just like
I love it, but I personally have no idea why you guys hate Luciana Valera so much.
Well, I know why Kauliki
Luciana
does.
Valera, but she knows that Valera is one step towards dipshit.
Kalu.
Zorov?
Giraffe.
Um
Dipshit.
and if we cannot kill his underling, we are never strong enough to kill him, and we cannot kill him because two of us cannot even fight him directly.
Question.
Welcome to my overthinking brain.
Wouldn't Kauliki know Luciana? Valera?
Technically, I do know her, but I don't. No, Hala knows that Celia and Valera were alive at the same time. I don't think Kauliki knows that Celia and Valera were alive at the same time.
It's the thing where Clark Kent puts on glasses. Gaba.
He doesn't have a multiple personality disorder though at the time of doing that, putting on and taking off his glasses. They're not two separate people.
Maybe. Gaba, as you are meditating in your room, do you still lock it with like a key?
I'm not in my room at this point. I decided to go right to the front of the ship, like where technically the prison is.
The prison
So
would
I'm
be
probably hearing
next to the shim. Like you are
I think it's
a gate around. You are talking about the one on the top deck.
I believe. Let me just get the map up. I think it's either that one, or it's
The cells are right in front of the gym.
yeah. So it's in front of the gym. Listening, so I'm like in front of it. I'm probably listening to Kauliki keep shit or something. So it's probably not helping my meditation. Hence why I roll so badly, obviously. But it's like, yeah, I'm at the front. I'm kind of like wanting the breeze to hit my face, trying to calm myself down, but also like trying to see what's in front. It's like a weird trying to see what's in front of me, but trying to almost urge myself to find him, knowing what's coming ahead. So it's like a kind of like a weird meditation. It's like trying to dig deep into myself to pull out any remnants of where friend could be.
You. Right. You feel, for like a brief second, a very soft, very light, very almost weightless tap of a hand on your back, pushing you forward as if to continue. But you turn around and there's like nothing there, and you are like, did I feel that, or was just the wind pushing me a little bit? Oh, did Marley just fuck up with the wheel and maybe I lost balance for a moment?
We hit the curb with the ship.
The new paint job!
Okay.
Yeah, so it was weird.
But I am feeling something though. That's the main. At least I'm not.
Yeah, like you feel like you are making progress to something, or maybe you are just going crazy and having cabin fever.
Okay.
The sign on my door on the door where I am in, instead of "Don't come in or you'll die" is just help.
Just stuck behind me. Just look at the help sign and be like, no, I'm not going to do that.
David or Rick, who wants to go next?
I have something. Do you have something as well?
I do. It is probably fairly important to get more information on.
Remember,
I
you
am
guys
going
can
to
spend
do
1 hour to run a scan action of a place, and that will reveal more of the map and overall just give you information of the location. But that takes an hour and energy.
And we're low on energy.
You go first, David. Go on.
Energy. Where is it? The engine. Why can I not see the energy of the engine?
30 out of 48. Okay, not bad.
Oh, air propulsion engines. 17 out of 48. And you just travel.
Clicking the thing.
You just travel for 1 hour, so 16 out of 48. And running the scan will cost you 2 energy per hour.
Yeah. Well, I got to get this done before shit hits the fan. So I'm going to do my research
Okay.
of figuring out how to break the Scion not killing each other pact.
Okay.
Which is a disadvantage history check.
Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Go for it. How are you investigating this, by the way?
I'm using the key.
Oh, you're using the key. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to add the quest kill Shore Elf, which we already did, and the objective is going to be find information about how to attack a Scion.
So
okay.
I am on 41 out of 50 currently.
41 out of 50.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and that 41 includes what you just rolled?
No, that is what I've done so far.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and roll.
I rolled a 6. I'm gonna add my one of my good old features, which I got because I'm now a dead boyo. Knowledge from the past life. So I'll immediately add a d6 to this. I hope it's a 3. It's a 6. So 12 total points.
For 50. Quaddle, as you are descending the library, remember the library now looks eerily quiet. You don't see Magni, you don't see AzerrA. All of the lights seem to be turned off, no torches. The vines that were covering this place and that had changed into dark vines with crimson flowers when AzerrA came into the library now seem to be withering slowly, as if devoid of life entirely. The animals that were guiding all of you through this library that haven't appeared the two last times that you came into here, you can see from like the corner of in the distance in one of like the in like the library aisles, you can just see like a fox grabbing like a human hand looking at you and then running off out of view. There's like fires and you can see some of like the animals just like close to a fire trying to heat themselves up, almost as if they were like homeless people in a post-apocalyptic setting. There's just like papers flying everywhere, a very dystopian view in general. But you, amongst all of those papers that are roaming around, one catches your attention because it is a page that was torn out of one of the books that you were researching a couple of times ago, and it depicts information of a student of the Arcane, sort of archaeologist that belonged to the Glorium Arcanum. This is prior to the fracturing. This is the origins of the Glorium Arcanum almost. It's in the year 350. This is a page from 300 years ago. This was before the fall of Shingar. The early, well, not the early days, but early days of the civilizations here in the world of Dustra. The report follows the journals of a young arcanist of Albion Ascent, as they departed on a journey from the capital of Crinthia and went into the 4 dungeons where the primordials had been vanquished by the gods. when they came to the world. The reports keep getting weirder as you continue on the page, almost as if something was altering the mind of this person. You start seeing that whispers start appearing in his dreams whenever he does one of his expeditions to the Earthen Dungeon. No, sorry, this wouldn't be the Earthen one. This would be the Wind one, the one on Sephira. So, okay, the dungeon's name is I don't want to fuck up this name, so I'm checking my fucking notes. It is the Skyrest, Sephira's dungeon. So you start reading, and the pages seem to be both shorter and progressively getting more out of context. The notes start being more about a specific thing or an event rather than an organized sort of like journal with step-by-step chronicling like it was in the beginning. This researcher starts speaking of a voice of conquest, a voice of deceit, a voice of manipulation, and he goes slowly into how he lied for the first time and how naturally it came to him. He starts going on how they stole from somebody, but the person that they stole from doesn't seem to realize that happened. They almost gave it willingly. And at some point, this journal ends with no further development of the events, almost as if the person just stopped writing entirely. The last page has a signature that says Shoralf L. Shilarst. So this doesn't tell you how to fight against a Scion, how to harm them, but it is a step in the investigation of how the Scions came to be, which might be a clue on how to break the covenant that restricts them. You will need to do further research to come to a conclusion.
Have I got a new quest log that's opened up?
You do. I'm going to call it Find the Origins of the Scions. And it's going to be, once again, let's say a cumulative check instead of number of successes. Or, you know what? No, let's make it number of successes. That makes more sense, because now that you have found this part of the archive, you see that there's a lot of information, a lot of journals of similar people throughout the years. People that started hearing and listening to these sort of changes in their behaviors, mostly seekers, people that would go into these dungeons, or investigators of the Glorium Arcanum were the ones that wrote this in their journals. So now it's not going to be more about researching, it's going to be more about finding the one that will have the information you want. I'm going to call it 4 checks.
So I need to find the one piece of information.
Yes. I'm going to call it only, you know what? 2 checks, but a DC of 25.
Oh.
There you go.
And what stat is this?
History.
History still. Okay.
Okay, and there we go. That's going to be for you during your next one. Why don't you mark yourself as completed? There we go. Perfect.
Oh, I can see this one. Oh, not anymore.
Okay, and Rick, what is Bishar doing during these 2 hours?
Bishar will at some point approach Gaba, actually, probably at least after Hala has excluded herself. That's not the word. You know what I mean.
Secluded.
Secluded. Thank you. That's the one. And he will wait a while at distance patiently while he's seeing that Gaba is meditating. But as soon as she starts to get distracted or stops, then he will approach her. And like, Gaba, can I speak to you for a moment?
Boss, do you want to do it somewhere else, or do you mind sitting at the front of the ship looking at?
No, I don't mind sitting here. It's fine. I was wanting to discuss something with you. I am growing increasingly concerned with the state of mind or behavior of Kaulike. She is starting to become... I don't know, if I compare her to a couple of weeks ago when I first met her on the island, she was a girl back then. But over time she has become increasingly comfortable with violence, less caring about unknown innocent people. And it starts to worry me. Maybe I'm seeing something, that's why I wanted to discuss this, but it's something I've observed over the last couple of days, mainly.
You got high perception in you. You would see the scars flickering between blue and red, like a weird, like real bad RGB without the G. I'm trying to think what Gaba knows and what I know. I would quickly, just before I do potentially put my foot in it, does Gaba know more because of AzerrA, or do I know exactly the same as what Gaba would know?
What are you referring to in particular? Like
About
history or Kaulike in specific?
Kaulike specifically.
No.
Okay.
No. Of her, you know what you know. Of history, you know what Callum knows.
Okay. I think the issue is, Vishal, she was bred as a killer. She may be a girl, she may be young at heart, but she was bred as a prized killing machine. And a special one at that. She's not some ordinary... Not an ordinary girl. She's not like Eric, who's been trained and has this sort of social hierarchy and social norms that we come to accept. She was probably ripped from her family, tortured, manipulated, and she just happened to be spat out into this world, and we're trying to be honest, we probably not introduced her in the best way possible, that she's seen all the things, especially if she is a young girl looking at her age.
Well,
I agree, I think she is becoming more violent and ruling,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that's just the training or because things like Jor-Ralph, like Luciana, and probably myself, probably Quattle, probably the things we've seen in the last 2-3 days are just triggering her to have some sort of PTSD, maybe. I don't know.
Yes, I think you're right. It is. Well, I am concerned that if this doesn't end or keeps getting worse, that she might become part of the problem instead of helping to find a solution.
I
Sorry?
None. I'm not there. I'm just saying it's spicy.
I
At some
don't
point,
think myself or Eric will allow that to happen.
no, I don't believe you will. But yes, just something to watch out for. I think as long as she's focused on the right thing, it should be fine, but might be wise to not let her get sidetracked and to remind her of some good morals every once in a while. I will do this as well, by the way. I'm not charging you to do this.
I ask one thing then. If we are successful with Luciana, you must make sure that she doesn't give the final blow.
I will do my best. That's all I can promise.
That's all I need. If you can see it's going to happen, I think that will drive her further because she'll just drive the bloodlust that I know that they were bred for, and I know that she has something to do with Kaoliki. Looking at our reaction, we just need to be careful.
Yes. All right. Thank you. All right. One other thing. If you ever want it, feel free to use my room for meditation if you would like. It's very peaceful and quiet. And if you would like someone to meditate with, I will keep myself recommended.
Imagine my face like pulled back for the wind. Really nice. Thanks for that.
How to ruin a moment, Color.
There is no wind inside of the bubble.
Oh, that's thank you. It's very, very kind, Michelle. I will.
Bubble.
Sorry to ruin
think
your
when I
party.
So when I think of a quieter moment, I'm more than happy to start potentially meditating, and you could probably help me find that itch that I'm trying to find.
It would be my honor to help you.
Thank you. Now, go prepare. We have probably 30 minutes before we either save Naur Zhandia or enter a war zone that is beyond repair.
Yep. And as you guys are saying this, you see underneath the ship, you've been flying over the land of Naur Zhandia for a couple of minutes now, as you are no longer floating above a cloud of miasma for the first time since you came back from underneath.
How does it look? Does it look like it's war-ridden, or
it?
Because I can, as Visha said, I can imagine that Kaoliki being so close to war is teetering on the edge of sanity.
Right. So doesn't look as if an army marched through the lands. Doesn't look to be desecrated, burned, any sort of like tactics of destroying the place, scorching earth, or nothing like that. In fact, you look, and it's hard to see if you look to the sides. You know, when you are driving in a car, the further down in the front that you look, the longer it takes for it to pass. But if you look off in the distance, you can see like houses in the middle of like the hills, maybe like one house or maybe like 3 or 4, like a very small commune of probably people that just chose to live outside of the outskirts of Naur Zhandia, or maybe people that deal with the animals. And you can see it's mostly grassland. There's no like tall vegetation, not many tall trees, just a couple from here and there. It looks, I don't know how to describe it in this moment other than an air shot of a savanna, but more greenish.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't seem to have been attacked by any means. Looking off in the distance, not even the sensors of the ship catch up like an army. As a matter of fact, as the sensors get closer to the city and they start picking up on the life forms in a more detailed manner, you can see that there's maybe like 10,000 plus, and all of them seem to be humanoid. Altered humanoids. The sensors don't catch that much of that big of a detail. The sensors would not tell you if they are like orcs or humans or elves.
Would beastwalkers register as humanoids?
Yes.
Okay.
10,000
10,000 is not much.
10,000 is the sixth largest city of the Longstad Empire.
Oh wow. You will. Kalike would compose herself downstairs and go up, and you would see her face stoic. Like, she always is smiley, happy. She's like now stoic. Although she's looking at what she perceives now her home city or homeland, it's like weird and stoic and aggressive, but in a very calm way, so even worse than just openly aggressive. And she would be like,
Eric? Where are we to land to be closest to your mother?
So this is something that I did not get time to discuss with Jason. Where is the exact location in the city that his family would live in? But based on his work with the Ministry of Reconciliation and History, I would say that his family probably lives closer to the downtown area, closer to the older buildings, maybe. Not the oldest ones that are more of like, I am from Corinthia, I am from, no, not from Corinthia, I am from the Republic, I am from the theocracy, and they still hold like the old beliefs, more of the conservative sort of side, but not far away from there. Like, his family wouldn't live closer to the outskirts. So
They're in Old Town.
yeah, give or take. Like, you would have, regardless of where you land, you will still have to traverse the city to get to like Eric's house.
and Kaliki would grab Gaba's hand like this, just to steady herself.
You feel like a reassuring hand grab. I look at everyone and go, stick together. Do not be teased. No one-on-ones. Together.
I try to squeeze back.
Little strength. I kind of
Minus
Sure.
fucking 2. 3! Minus fucking 3!
I think I would just turn around at everyone and just be staring at where we're about to land.
I will
Mr.
take
Together.
over from Marlish for the final landing procedure because I do not fully trust him yet with the ship.
Well,
So if
he rolled a
anyone-
14.
Oh, well. Is that good enough?
He goes
For sure.
very nervous. Once again, the image of a punk kid that hasn't had a father figure and is going like, am I doing good? Like, doesn't want to rely on your approval, but is looking at you as if you are going to say something about how he is landing.
That's
We have like the kangaroo stopping.
giving him pointers like careful on the clutch. Press the gas pedal now.
I know what I'm doing. And yeah, like
And you
you
do
guys,
it wonderfully.
managed to land. As you are about to land, the Elysian Veil pulls out like pistons, very pneumatic, sort of like landing feet in 3 points, like 2 on the back and 1 on the front. And you see, in a fashion very much similar to the bridges that Bishar / Rick hates so much, something similar forms from the Elysian Veil to the ground, allowing you to descend, almost sort of like a ramp.
Please, I fly down.
Does it require life force to operate?
No, it doesn't.
Alright.
No, I don't fly
crew-
down. I
the
am
crew-
still clutching Gaba's hand. I'm not letting go of Gaba.
She tries to fly and Gaba is not flying anywhere. And then she goes, okay.
I'm a fucking kite.
Yeah, lets out the chain a bit. Flies.
Are we all ready?
What is the weather like, Martin?
Oh god, we've done this in ages.
I would have known a day,
He
day
doesn't
ahead
have
of
the
time.
macro for that. He doesn't have a macro for that.
Yay!
How's the gravity, Martin?
Gravity in Longstad actually always is regular. That's one of the
Ho
benefits.
ho.
Okay. It's raining. A thunderstorm is approaching.
Good.
You can, as you were flying, you could see thunders off in the distance, raining above Naur Zhandia. But something catches your attention, because this is the first time actually that we have done the weather in Longstad.
Don't you dare say it gets hit restricted by the barrier. Don't you dare.
The storm is weaker. Inside of what is the Longstad sort of like air space compared to before you entered. It's still going, but it's not a raging harsh wind. And the thunders seem to clash against the barrier, almost as if the sort of like force wall that stopped you was attracting the thunders.
All right, we're taking the force wall down.
Well, that is thematic and
Yeah.
pretty nicely representing of what I feel right. So that's perfect.
Yeah, it's like poetic, because like the harsh part of the storm, the like the lightning, the wind, all of that sort of like fury of the storm is left outside of the barrier, and the only thing that comes to like the inside of like the territory of Naur Zhandia are the dark clouds with like a little light in between the lights, but no thunder coming from them, and just the rain seems to be also softer, not as harsh, above the city of Naur Zhandia as you are landing.
Visha, would you say that you are visibly concerned for Kaolika? right now?
Not at this point, no.
Okay.
Also,
No.
Vishal usually, unless something is actually very upsetting to him, appears very calm and collected. So he wouldn't, even if he was, not show anything as
Okay.
well, or at least try not to.
I'm gonna look at Quattle at this point and be like, and probably Ephraim. Do you both know what's causing this shield to stay up? And do you think it could be localized within the town?
Arcana check.
Yeah,
Yay! I
followed
love it.
Someone roll for Ephraim.
Before
they are
I
maintained
roll,
by Aestrons, are they not?
before I roll, do I use the player's dice or do I use the GM dice for this?
What do you mean player dice?
Yes.
Because technically I'm rolling for
Mm.
Ephraim.
But we didn't roll a player dice for him
Yes.
at the beginning.
Oh, you're right.
When Mark usually does NPC, he takes his own dice.
Yeah, but I don't consider them NPCs, that's the thing. But I'm going to use one of my dice, you're right. We didn't roll for him. Right, okay. Fucking hell. The guy that has like a plus 11 in Arcana and I rolled a 4.
Yeah, I'll chuck another d6 onto that.
Right.
21 total.
30 for Ephraim.
Sure.
Quattle. The information that Quattle knows about this has to do with the same things that keep the island floating. Has to do with those arcane scriptures that sometimes can be seen as glyphs floating underneath each island. The smaller islands that are floating in between the larger districts are not part of this, but they seem to be caught in some sort of like magnetic field caused by the larger pieces. And you know that it also deals with keeping the whole archipelago of the empire together. Like, remember last game, I said that there was like a small 2 centimeters drop of the island as you guys approach, and the shield, the force wall activated. All of it is together, controlled by the same sort of thing. Ephraim would also know that for it to happen, and Gaba maybe knows a little bit about this, as she was also part of like the Raging Fox Guild. When the Empire locates a new drifter land to be brought into the territories, the advanced group that goes and cleans the place, brings on the refugees, ensures that the place is safe for further development. They build a facility of the Glorium Arcanum in that drifter land, and that is how they control the land to bring it to the Empire.
Right.
So Ephraim, even with a 30 plus, doesn't know where the Glorium Arcanum facility of the Naur Zhandia is, but you know that this was one of the things that caused a lot of conflict between Naur Zhandia and Longstad when they were incorporated, because Naur Zhandia has a sort of taboo heresy / very much raging hate for anything arcane and arcanotechnology, because they hate the Glorium Arcanum.
Okay.
With Bottle's architectural knowledge, would he know how? Would he know how standardized these facilities are, and would he be able to pick out, like, if it was in a group of buildings, that's the standardized Gloria Arcana facility blueprint. Oh, I can recognize that. Because he has worked on... He's trawled through archives and bits and pieces.
If you had access to the map of the city and schematics of the city, you could try discerning which buildings seem to be different from the ones of the city. As I said, the city Naur Zhandia grew organically.
It would be fairly stand out because they wouldn't match the architecture of the city.
Yeah. If you had access to like a map of the city that is fairly detailed, you could try finding it out. Ephraim would probably say that they tend to be a little bit hidden from the public. You know, David, you definitely know this, how the governments build like electric stations or other things, and they disguise them as like normal houses throughout the city, so that they don't alter the public perception.
I was so close to David destroys an encounter based on architectural knowledge. So close. Okay. I'm guessing that was repeated to us.
Yeah. Blah 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 blah.
I think, okay. You would probably see Gab again quite stressed. Maybe, no, I won't guess. You would see like a pain look on her face, trying to like, trying to try and come up with a plan, because she feels responsible, because well, she technically is, because she said let's go to Zhandia. Okay.
You don't need to be. You don't need to be too worried. I can always bring the storm with me if necessary. If you're worried about that.
Reassuring and threatening at the same time.
And I think also Bishar can as well, but I don't think he has.
Yes,
He probably doesn't have it.
I have brought the storm with me this time.
So we said Luciana Valera basically used some sort of like sending, but like as like a funnel, like it was just out into the void. Then we kind of like took it. You said.
Sorry, can you rephrase that question?
How did Luciana Valera contact us?
The same way as the ones from Almeria did, some sort of like sending that works with the with like the arcane scripture and detects something. That's what Ephraim deduced last time.
General hailing, like tower communication to plane sort of stuff.
And I
am sure I've asked this question already. Sorry, Callum. What does Kaulike know about Valera?
You rolled priorly, and I believe that you did not recognize her. I believe.
But since I last couple of games, I regained a lot of my knowledge. Is there anything about her new?
Sure. Give me a history check.
You're all good. 18?
Okay, 18. I imagine this as the moment where Kauliki kind of like connects the dots and has like, you know, from Emperor's Group when Cusco, no, not Cusco, Kronk realizes everything and starts quickly spouting all of the things. In this moment, you do remember having seen Luciana Valera or somebody that looked exactly like her centuries ago when you were
Basically a child.
basically a child, yes. And you
I
do-
connect the dots that
you
because
do
of her.
remember seeing her one more time, actually, while you were in your death trials, fighting and killing and getting your throat ripped out and moving, and you remember seeing her. And remember, and this is a big remember, first game of this campaign, where we did a couple of images that Kauliki saw rambled as people were looking into like her tube or looking from a platform higher up or operating on her, and we said that she remembered the face of one of the scientists, one of the members of the
one
Glorium
woman. Yeah.
That is Luciana
Oh,
Valera.
this fucking bitch experimented on me. Ooh, that is personal now.
Yep.
I'm gonna do something stupid.
Self-destruct activated.
So, obviously, we need to make sure that they know they're here. I'm going to cast Prestidigitation, and I don't know if you'll allow this, but looking at it, I feel like I can do. I'm going to create a firework, and like a big up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, you are a flying ship going through houses in the distance and a grassland, so they can definitely see you, but definitely you can also do that.
Oh yeah, they'll see, but it's like, you know, like Day After Tomorrow, where the ship slowly comes through and you can see it as it's coming through low. But if you just do that big spark, it's kind of a signal to them that we've arrived. That's what the signal I want to give.
Definitely, yeah, you do that. So,
Disembark.
yeah, you guys land and you know that they have, you know that they definitely know you are there.
I will
This is where the fun begins.
No hiding
whisper.
now.
I will whisper into the air. Come on, Valera. Felix looking for you.
Just double check. I've definitely got my Warhammer.
No response. And as you guys land, you shall see there's, as I said, open land mostly. And houses off in the distance, almost as if you are in the.
I assume Eric is leading the way.
Yeah, definitely. Eric is leading the way. He knows where to go.
You want an order, or are you happy for it to be?
We'll get an order in a moment, because
Okay.
we'll take a short break in a minute. I want to just finish one thing.
Oh shit! Can I retcon something, or can I add something to a previous conversation?
Sure.
Can I, Vishal, when you talk to me around Kauliki, I'm also going to bring up Eric, saying we don't know what's going to come to Naur Zhandia. We don't know what we're working into. If knowing what they can do and what they would do to Eric's family, we need to be prepared for. We just need to be prepared for him and how we can handle that without him losing himself.
Yes. In the case of his parents being murdered, you mean? Or maybe converted in some...
Murdered. Potentially they've turned the Beast Walkers back into what their primary purpose was. We need to be available. We need to think about every single eventuality.
That also includes, if they have converted the Beast Walkers back to their original purpose, that they might be able or might try to take control of Eric or even Kaliki.
I worry more about Eric than I do Kauliki, but
True.
we need to be prepared for every single eventuality.
Maybe I can web.
Hmm?
Nothing. I'm not there.
I would prefer both of them to see the other end of this, but I will stand with you to do what must be done.
Meanwhile, Quaddle is fighting a page of paper out of the mouth of a rabbit raccoon.
What does this mean? Tell me your secrets.
Die!
As you guys descend from the Elysian Vale, you walk not far away. Like, as you landed, you can see the city off in the distance. And it starts very much like a lot of cities that house. Oh fuck, we are in the city now. And you have a lot of houses. All of the houses seem to have a lot of space. They seem to be very open. They don't seem to be like 2-3 building edifications. They seem to be, for the most part, maybe like 1 floor, maybe 2 floors at most. Quaddle, immediately you notice, of course, there is like no sort of like basements or building downs. And you notice that the houses here off in this side of like outside are using stone, and Kava, you would recognize this stone as stone mined from Trellwyn, and stone mined from Trellwyn, from Trellwian, and Quaddle, you would recognize the wood as simple wood, nothing too sturdy. The wood seems to come from a district that I haven't named before.
Old asshat.
No.
Oh yeah, I remember making up a district about something stupid about wood. I can't remember.
Quaddle, it seems to come from the district number 9, called Swamp. Yeah, it's Swamp but with an A. It's Swamp but with an A. And Quaddle, the reason why I'm talking about the materials, first of all, the use of stone. And this is something that maybe Eric would know, but I assume Quaddle knows of like basic classes of architecture that he had. Stone is not all districts have mountains or mines or anything. In fact, there are only a few districts that have access to a mountain. So for the houses that have stone out here, they have to be the newest houses that have been built in here, because they have benefits from the trade with the Empire. Despite all of the issues that they had, they still gained some benefits. And you assume, with what you know from the experience in Grelia, if they hadn't agreed to form part of the Empire, there would not be a Naur Zhandia now. There would just be this drifter land with a different name and different people living in it. And the other thing that catches your attention is that wood of Swamp. And the fact that they are using stone from Trellwian instead of stone from Krushmurta or from Ynmirhold. They are the cheapest stone and the cheapest wood that can be acquired in the Empire as materials. compared to like the woods that they use in the districts more of the inner circle, like Longstadt, Elamia, or Oakentier, Sakaroon, any of those that use the stone from the wood from Almeria, that Dragonblood wood that is sturdier and stronger against wind and currents. These are the sort of buildings that if that shield, that wall of force that controls the weather wasn't as it is in the moment, if it was weaker, if it was damaged or anything, and say a tornado or strong storm were to come, all of these buildings would be immediately destroyed.
Don't bring down the wall.
Yeah.
So you mean don't kill everybody.
So yeah, to summarize, the edifications in Naur Zhandia are made of cheap materials.
As a side note, how did the people in the village I lived next to handle this? Did they just build sturdier houses, or what was the plan for storms?
There are no storms in Longstadt.
No, where Fishar is originally from.
Grelia.
From Grelia. They lived in very much close to the forest, and they took cover in the forest. They opened like a space and were surrounded by a lot of trees, forming a barrier against the wind. And the trees over 60 years grew stronger, and there was also a mountain. So depending on from where the wind was coming, they would not be affected by it. Grelia was what's called, the Enraging Fox would call Grelia a golden goose, because not only had a mountain, it also had a forest, and it also had a bolt of the Glorium Arcanum.
Aestrha Island, I would call it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the colonies are like Japan. You know, build all your houses out of wood. When there's an earthquake, it's like, oh,
Build them again.
yeah.
Yeah, Japanese are very good at that now. But, you know, all their wooden stuff.
But even back then, like you
Build
said,
around.
it would vibrate a little bit. You know, it'd have a big vibrate, but it'd be built in such a way that it would be like, you know, it's pretty cool. Are we breaking? Or we?
Oh, sorry, one more thing, because you asked about the people, and I thought you were asking about the people here, so I'm going to say it now. The houses that you can see, people seem to be going around their normal life, just walking, talking. Like some people approach the ship, and you see people coming out of the fort, but they seem to be mostly civilians, just looking at the ship. And you see people are walking with like baskets of fruit, going on their regular daily life.
Beastwalkers.
Beastwalkers, all of them. You see Beastwalkers like the more purely Beastwalker like Eric, but here on the outskirts of the city is where you will find mostly the hybrid Beastwalkers, those that have merged with humans, elves, dwarves like Ephraim. And you can see like some people more of like human sort of like factions with Beastwalker factions, like a human with cats and tails, or humans with a little fur on different places. And Eric would let you know that it's a little bit of like pure breeding that they want to
pure
keep.
blood versus
Blood.
Some people, more of like the conservatives, are like that. But it's also because the homes on the outskirts are the newest ones. So people that have been living in the city since Naur Zhandia for 60 years have their homes closer. And people that move after it was incorporated to Longstadt 30 years ago, as the Beastwalkers stopped being perceived as machines of war and were given rights by Longstadt, and they started mingling with the people of the Empire. That's why they have moved to the outskirts, which comes with the added little bit of elitism.
I feel like Eric would ask them if everything is okay.
Yeah, can we do some Arcana checks to divine any like magical interference that could be like swaying them or something similar as well?
Sure, but let me show you a little bit of what the city looks like. History, Longstad Empire. What do you mean? It's not been saved. I have it here, for fuck's sake. Okay. Here you go. So yeah, it seems like they just follow the hill for the most part when they built the city.
That's Naur Zhandia?
That's Naur Zhandia.
Oh, that's pretty.
And I have here one more image, but it's a mixture of everything. Like I could not create the perfect thing with AI, but it's also a little bit like this. Show to players. Why are you not showing it?
I'm showing it on mine.
No, don't have it.
I don't.
If you close that one and then push it again, you should get it.
Try again.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know why it doesn't want Rick to see it.
Yeah, I got it.
There it is.
I got the separate one.
Oh, so pretty.
So it's kind of like so you like the Highlands, but it's got valley and gorges as well.
Yes. And you will notice that those rivers, I don't know, Gabba is probably the only one that would have experienced or heard tales from like her grandmother or elders of the orc tribes. The rivers were mostly dried and were just like gorges that were left in there. But ever since the Longstad Empire, some of the projects that they have been able to reinvigorate the places is bringing water-aligned airstones that pour water constantly, just like you guys did in the mine, and they started having those rivers again. So yeah, if you were to see like the end of this river from the outside, you don't see the river flowing down and falling out. So something happens to that river closer to the edge of like the territory, so that the water is not lost.
I know you said it's a strategic nightmare to like maintain this place, but I don't think it would be that much of a nightmare because an attacking army going up that hill would be an absolute ball ache.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but doesn't have walls. So, in a world where there's like flying vessels and arcane technology against a civilization that doesn't have walls and doesn't have arcane technology, they are easy target if they were to be actually attacked.
I mean, if you have a flying warship, then a wall's not going to make much of a difference, is it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but a lot of walls have defenses on top.
Well, yeah. You can just put them on the ground. Oh
may
no,
have a
the defense is 20 feet lower than it could have been.
They may have a nuclear
shall we
bunker.
do?
You never know. We may actually find nukes.
Yeah, that's true.
Seeing how beautiful this city is, Kaliki would not stop, but get a little bit slower, and then looking at Eric. How do I go in? Do I go in as now? Do I go in with the halo blazing? Do I go in as Celia? How? I don't fit in here. These people are... This is not me.
I imagine Eric would put a hand on your shoulder and go, "This is a place for everyone. You are welcome here. You'll grow into it. There's a little bit for everybody. You just have to find it. And if you don't find it, we can build you a place here.
If I survive long enough.
If we survive long enough.
Just remember, Kaulagi, home isn't where you fit in. It's where you belong.
And at that
We
moment,
feel you
Thuras goes and puts an arm over Gav and goes, and I belong with you, so you'll be my home forever.
I thought I left her on the ship.
You said you wanted her to come.
Yeah, I know.
And that's where we are going to take our break, as when we come back, the welcoming party to Naur Zhandia will be there for you.
Kill them all!
Right.
Be back in a minute.
I mean,